Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Thrive in Your Mission. I'm Elvira Hopper, and I'm here with my fabulous partner, Tavia Sharp. And we are excited to bring you this episode today because last week we dove into the witch wounds. We did a little deeper dive into the witch wounds because we've sort of spoken to it. But then I talked about something that happened to me last week, and it was a really interesting situation, and I felt up leveled from it. Like even right now, I just feel like I am more me because I had the courage to speak my truth, even in the face of people telling me that, you're crazy and you're childish and, and I had to block a few people. And I think what we wanted to talk about, well, I know what we want to talk about today is the importance of being with the right people in your environment, the people whose values you value and they value yours.
Mm.
And you are together in this community or communities that you choose, because it's hard out there in the world, right, with all these conflicting values and different people shouting this and that. So as you're really stepping in to own who you are, you need to be nurtured in the right community, not shut down, right?
Mm.
So the witch wound is about afraid to speak your truth. But when you're in the right community, you're actually loved for speaking your truth, even if it's
Mm.
different than the others. If it's radically different, then obviously you're not meant to be a part of that community. But it's about loving on each other and not judging, so that you can stand up and own your truth, right? Like, have you ever been part of a community like that, Tavia? I'm
Oh,
sure, I'm
yeah.
sure you've been more than one, but yeah, tell us about your
Yes.
experience.
I mean, more than one, but I think that's the reason why I choose those communities because I know that I'm going to feel safe and respected and heard. And, part of the reason why I sign up for group programs with specific coaches is because of the community piece. It's very
Yes.
important. And I know we're both a part of a couple of
Mhm.
communities, by
Well, we met.
people
Yeah.
that we met through, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one of them in particular, I keep going back to because I love the people, not just his leadership, but I also love the people that I
Yeah.
meet in those containers that we've become friends. Some of these people I haven't even met in real life. Like some of them
Yeah.
I'm literally been friends with in this virtual world, never
Yeah.
met in person, and I consider them like some of my really good, like trusted, entrepreneurial like counterparts and
Yeah.
people that I respect. And
Mhm.
it's really interesting, right? The community is huge, and especially with the pandemic. I mean, that's what I was very in need of, right? Because it felt so
Mhm.
isolating. So it was really
Yeah.
important to me to join a community where I felt the people aligned with my values and where I felt like I could, be vulnerable, right? That's really
Yeah.
important too. Like I could be vulnerable, nobody's judging me. And
Mhm.
in fact, I had many one-on-one conversations that would kind of jump off from me sharing in front of the group,
Yeah.
and I felt like I
Hours.
had right, so much
Yeah.
support. Yes, exactly. And it really makes a huge difference when you're in a community where you have that, right? Where
Mm.
you can speak your truth, and you don't have to be afraid, right? Like there's people out there that understand and can support you. Hmm.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, and I'm blessed to say that I'm the founder of a personal development company, and the program that my team facilitate is called the Love Your Vibe Transformation, which is all about going from being a crap magnet. That sounds horrible, but it's not. When you live inadvertently, unconsciously, not healing your stuff, you are going to attract crap, right? That's just the way it is. But when you shift to being a miracle magnet, you're living consciously, you're aware of your wounds, you're working on your stuff, you become a miracle magnet. And so this is what my team facilitate, is this work. And in these small containers, 8 people and under, everybody feels safer than virtually any community they've ever been in, seen for who they truly are, and love too. So safer, seen, celebrated, for who they are, however they are, they're celebrated and supported. So if they're in a dark place, they can come to the community and feel elevated, right? So these four things are really important to me personally, because I'll tell you the truth, a little backstory. I had two best friends of almost 40 years each, that when I had my breakdown at the end of my corporate and my spiritual breakthrough, they looked at me like I had three heads. Our values no longer aligned. I did not feel safe in their presence. I tried to make it go of it for 2 years, but there was always something icky inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally had the courage to let them go with love and light, so when I became a pro jazz artist at 51, they looked at me like so worried about me, like they thought I'd lost my mind. One didn't show up at my jazz show, the CD launch, and the other one showed up and talked to my mother the whole time. Both of them were
Mm.
musicians. Both of them were not fully self-actualized as musicians. So to see their friend, who never identified as a musician before, she was just a crappy karaoke singer, to now be on stage, and having launched an album, they couldn't compute. It was like they just couldn't compute. So anyway, the point is that they never saw me. I never felt safe, seen, celebrated, and supported. My
Mm.
two best friends did not have that space for me. So you know what? I had to learn how to love them from the far outer circle, FOC. I FOC them with love and light. I teach you how to do this free on my website, by the way. It's called the Four Circles of Personal Power. Go to elvirahopper.com and grab that. But basically, when I did that, oh my God, Tavia, my business took off. I was in a place where energetically they were sucking me dry because they
Yeah.
judged me, because they looked at me like I had three heads. And honestly, like my business was just stagnant. It was scary
Mm.
stagnant. And yet, as soon as I was able to learn how to love them from a distance, I still love them. They're lovely people. They just don't align with my values. I needed different
Mm-hmm.
people. As soon as I let them go, all these miracles started happening in my life, including my business taking off. And I got to attract my team of amazing miracle mindset mentors, people where in their presence, I feel so safe, seen, celebrated, and supported. So
Mm.
I believe this is a beautiful way to do life, with the people where you can feel truly yourself with. And they
Yeah.
align with your values. Maybe not every single one is exactly the same, but they respect your values, right? And so this is where, we get to grow together. We get to glow together. We get to become our best selves together. Because if you're
Yes.
with people around you that don't see you, you're like this little flower that wants to blossom, and then somebody comes and crushes it, right? So you need
Yes.
to be with the people where you get to be
Mm.
big, right? And make the
Yes.
difference, right? Does that resonate?
Absolutely. It really does. And, I always say this, like, there's people that come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a
For
lifetime,
a
right? I don't
lifetime,
know who
yeah.
said that, but
I thought they were
uh,
gonna be a lifetime. I thought they
yeah,
were gonna be
of
a lifetime,
course.
but they
Of
weren't.
course.
Yeah,
There's people that I've been friends with for years and years and years, like childhood, high school, college. Then that didn't work. And then there were new people I met when I moved to New York, and then they fell off, right? Because what happens is sometimes, well, often, right? Because we're people, you and I are people who are into growing, right? And
yeah,
doing the inner work. And so when we
yeah,
do the inner work and other people don't, they stay here and you go
yeah,
like this, and
exactly,
they
exactly.
aren't following, they aren't coming up to this so that your level is moving on. You're getting, it's not that
Yeah,
you're higher or that you're better, it's
no,
more just you're doing work on yourself and you're evolving. And if the
yeah,
other person isn't evolving with you, then they are going to try to keep you down to the level, and they are
exactly.
most likely doing it subconsciously. They are most
Yeah,
likely not even realizing that they're
yes,
doing it. I don't think it's purposeful. I think Elvira and I agree with
no,
that. They're not
no,
doing it to hurt you, but like you said, what you were doing triggered something inside of them,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
therefore they're wanting to. It
yeah,
feels uncomfortable for them. They're like, "What
yeah,
is she doing? This is uncomfortable,"
yeah,
and so then they want to pull you back, and you're like,
yeah. The
"No,
crabs
I'm."
in the bucket, right? The crabs in the bucket? Yeah,
They're
yeah,
crabs in the bucket. I love that analogy. It's
yeah,
so true. They're like, "No, come
yeah,
back." And you're
yeah,
like, "No, I can't come back. I've already evolved. I've already seen, what I want to be next. You can't go
yes, yes,
backwards."
No.
So that's what happens. We get this,
Yes.
and I hope
Yes.
this is resonating if you're listening. Like,
Yeah.
we totally get it, and you might be that person, and then you're keeping yourself stuck or small
Yeah.
because you feel like those wounds are strong. You're people pleasing, and
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
trying to, make it easy for you, because it is hard to be like, no, I have to move forward. No, I have to move on. And guess what? If you
Yes.
don't, the universe will come and do it
Oh,
for you. And you don't want
right.
that. Okay. Because that really is unpleasant. Trust me. I have physically gotten hurt, emotionally, like stuff has happened, and I can laugh at it now, but at the time it was really
Yeah.
painful. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, the universe will come do it for you if you don't do it for yourself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if this is you, please reach out to us. We're happy to
Yeah.
support you. Yeah, because
We've
we
been
both
there. We've been
understand. We
there.
have been there many times. Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly. And if you are a heart-centered human, if you do identify with having had trauma and you want to, stop living in the dark places, if you want to live in the light consistently, do talk to me because I have an amazing team that facilitate this work. And so it's about being in the right community, the right container to hold you so that you can be everything you were brought here to be. So the witch wound doesn't scare you because you're just by yourself out in the world and you're afraid to speak. But when you're with the right people, you get the courage. I'm able to speak like this because of my community that supported
Mm,
me, and more than one community. I have my own community, then I'm part of the two communities you're a part of. And
mhm.
these places feel really good. They feel really safe. And I encourage that for all of you who feel like you have to do it alone. You don't. You don't. So, yay, this conversation
Yes.
was so great, Tavia. Another
Yes.
wonderful
Of
one.
course.
And I just always leave our conversations like floating on a cloud because you're just my people, right?
Yes.
We're so aligned with our values and what we want to do in the world. And we've come together each with our own missions, but together we have this collective mission to help people thrive in their mission. So how
That's
blessed
right.
are we? And
We're so
we want to
blessed.
do these uh, we want to do these events around the world so that people get to be seen in a bigger way so their brand can make the difference, so they can do the inner work, so they can own their beautiful brand, right? So it's such a beautiful collaboration. I'm getting chills as I say it. So thank you, Tavia. Thank you for being you, and I thank everybody for hopping on and watching this today. Again, reach out to Tavia or to me and share your thoughts privately, publicly. We want to hear how we're doing, and we want to bring you more content that speaks to your heart and soul. So please let us know,
Absolutely.
and we'll see you on the next episode of Thriving Your Mission. Take care,
Bye,
guys. Bye.
everyone. Bye.